Hello, and welcome to another tutorial from Irene Works. Today, we are going to look at the process of creating a custom template in Microsoft Word. I've talked with people who have said that creating a personalized document template is too much work, that it is simpler to set up your document each time and manually format the contents. But I say that's wrong. While it does take time to set up a personalized template, once you have done so, it's there anytime you need it. If you use word processing applications a lot, you probably create the same kinds of documents repeatedly. For example, years ago, I worked for a software development company. They had a main product and many add-ons. Each piece of software that they developed had to have a requirements document and a design document. In order to make the document creation process easier for the technical communications team, we created a template that could serve as the starting point for all new documents. The template included all of the required boilerplate text, section headings, and other necessary information that we knew would stay the same from document to document. For another example, I write fiction. In order to make formatting easier, I created a manuscript template for myself that I can use when I'm working on a story. Why would you want to create your own templates? Templates save time because you don't have to type the boilerplate text, the text that repeats in every document of the type, each time you start a new document of that type. Templates provide any special styles you need for that document type without you having to define the styles every time. And templates give your documents a consistent look that improves the readability of your documents and adds an air of professionalism. This is the first tutorial in a series, and today's video will show you how to custom-make a template in Microsoft Word. If there's enough interest, we'll do a similar tutorial next week for Google Docs and then another one for LibreOffice. You just have to send me an email with a request. And the email in question is ireneworks@ireneplays.com. Now, to create a custom template, you begin by creating a new Microsoft Word document. For today's example, we will use Microsoft's business letter template. And by the way, just so you can see it, this is the email address, ireneworks@ireneplays.com. So let's get started. Okay, so to begin with, we have to create a document. In order to create our own personalized template, we have to start with something. And it's easier if you start with an existing template, customize it, and then save it as your own template. So we're going to start with a business letter. And this is what we want. So we're going to create it. Now, in this case, for the company name, I'm going to let's use Irene Works. We're not going to include a street address. We're just going to include an email address. And by the way, I just created this email today. So if you have questions about different Office applications or tutorials that you would like to see, you can send an email to this address. And it will be there. That address will be there as long as I don't get flooded with a lot of junk. I'll tell you that right now. If it gets really bad, I will close down the email. But the new email address is ireneworks@ireneplays.com. And yes, there is a website called Irene Plays. I just haven't used it yet. Now, if you were actually creating this for yourself, you could pretty much leave everything else the way it is. Just put your name down here at the bottom. And then when you say save, instead of just saving it, use save as. This is so simple. The only even mildly complicated part is what's coming up. We want to save as, and we are not going to save it as a docx file. We want a docx file. We're not going to use macros, so we don't need dotm. We just need dot. I'm sorry, it's not docx, it's just dot. So now when you do that, it's going to tell you we recommend another folder for this for the type of file you've selected. And if we say go to recommended folder, what it will go to is a file where templates should be stored, and we are going to call this Irene Works Letterhead, just so I know what it is that, and we want to save it as a, remember, because it will change it back for you. Isn't it nice? We want to save it as a dot file. Okay, Irene Works Letterhead.dot, and that's basically it. We're in the right place. So let's save it. Doesn't matter to me. We're not going to use older versions of Word with this. Okay, so now we're going to close it. Now we want to create a letter based on our brand new template. And if you look, you'll see that Irene Works Letterhead is here. And I click this little button to pin it to the list. So when I select that, it comes in. It comes in with the boilerplate text that was there. I'm going to delete that. And let's just write something simple. This is an example of using Microsoft Word to type a letter using a custom email letterhead template that I created myself. Now, when we, well, first of all, let's put the date in. Today is May 27th. Oops. 2024. Okay, so now when we go to save it, it will save it as a document rather than as a template. Actually, we don't even have to do that. We can just do Control S. Okay, so that's fine. I'm going to call it Irene. I like to put underlines between words. Spaces bother me. That comes from programming for so long. Works first letter. Okay. No, I don't want to share it. I'm just going to put it in documents because I really don't care. I may never look at it again. This is just to show you an example of what can be done. Now, as you can see, it's quite easy to make your own templates. And the good thing about it is that if we had taken the time to change settings, such as maybe I wanted my name in blue and in a larger font and a bolder font, or whatever, if I'd wanted all those things, I could, and I'm not going to put in my address for now. Anyway, if I wanted all those things, I could put them in. And then the next time I needed to create a letter, there it is, all ready to go. All I have to do is type the who is it to and what does it say? And the rest of it's there. It makes life so much easier. Okay, that is about all we need to know about doing templates, at least to get started in Microsoft Word. There are many more things that we can do in the future. For example, I mentioned that I worked for a company that did software, and we created templates for design specifications and requirement specifications. And eventually I programmed those so that they would go and actually look at the software source code and create a document that would describe all of the pieces of the source code. It saved an amazing amount of time. It took taking over a week to create a new document to something you could do in minutes. I don't know, maybe that made us less valuable, but it did work. So anyhow, just don't tell anybody you've done it. There you go. So that's it for today. If you have not subscribed to my new channel yet, please do. If you have questions, please ask. You can use this email, ireneworks@ireneplays.com, to ask questions. And if I get a lot of the same type of question, or I will write a tutorial on it and present it in a future Irene Works video. So, and I will mention your name. So please, join me next time. Let's have some fun.